Hello. This is kind of a interesting shot, right? Like this is a, you don't normally see this one. Last time you saw this one, I was showing you how I built a homemade computer. I want to talk about lighting. I want to talk about lighting. If you've watched any of my old videos, I always talk about I'm not good at lighting. I struggle with doing lighting and being creative with it and give it that cinematic look and all of the things. And so I keep going out and I'm buying more lights and I'm trying to do more interesting things and separation. But I'm also, let's be very clear, I'm also extremely lazy. I can't leave all of my lighting rigs out. So yes, I have like kind of a nicer, more professional light with a softbox, but I have to break it down every time I'm done filming. So I get lazy and I don't feel like taking the damn thing out. And then this whole thing, like the softbox is such a pain in the ass that I never break it down. So like the idea of having to like take this thing out, affix it to the light, get it all right. So I'm lazy and I end up just using a stupid ring light because it's got like a built-in diffuser. And like, you know, I don't know, you spend all this money on camera equipment and lights, then you're using like a $20 or a $50 ring light. But that's what I use as my primary light most of the time. I'm using it right now. It's a ring light. I don't need to show you a ring light, but it's a ring light and it's a cheap one. So again, going back to my archives, if you're like, oh, what is this guy talking about? I went out and I bought a bunch of these nanotube, hold on, why am I even struggling with this? NanLite PavoTube II 6C. So these like 6-incher ones, I bought over the course of a couple of transactions because like B&H had a couple of sales and there were some customized ones. I've ended up buying like 8 of these things. And the cool thing about them is, let's see if I can get this back without having to change it. They have magnets built right in, right? So they have like a magnet right here. Like so, and I have drop sealing and you know, the things that hold the drop sealing are metal and they stick to the metal. Awesome. Except that you can't aim them. So once you put them where you want, or they're stuck, right? You can't twist them, aim them, they're where they are. So you really you can't point the light in the direction that you want. And now I'll admit my lack of intelligence too. It just dawned on me, like 2 nights ago, that they have a 1/4, like a standard tripod mount on them. And I'm like, I wonder if I can buy another magnet that's also got the same tripod screw in it, and just affix it to like, you know, a magic arm, or a cheap ball head. I'm kind of ashamed that I didn't think about this sooner. So, you know, for more advanced people, you guys probably think about these things a lot more than I do. Got my sweat on this thing. Probably not a good idea if I'm about to turn it on. So I got this idea that if I just affixed this magnet, just like before, but with a ball head that I can actually modify the direction of the light, I might be able to actually do some interesting things with these lights and save me some aggravation. So but before I start turning them all on, also, same idea, this is just a clamp with a tripod screw, and you see this little work area that I have over here. When I had that built, I purposely told the guy to give me a little more ledge so I can use something like a clamp to put things on. So we're gonna do that now. I'm gonna set this thing up. I'm gonna set the things up on the ceiling, and I'm just gonna see if it looks cool. But I'm interested in just doing, you know, again, these things were like, I don't know, this was like $15. Here's the other thing. I have like a drawer full of ball heads that I've bought over the years. So after I bought this thing, which is just basically, you could just buy the magnets. You don't even need to buy the damn ball heads if you have a bunch of them, or whatever you want to use to affix to the magnet. But it's just a magnet that apparently can hold like 25 pounds. I wouldn't put 25 pounds on my drop ceiling, but it's a magnet, and it comes with the tripod screw, which is 1/4 20. So that's all you need to buy, and you could just buy those by themselves. You don't even need to buy the stupid ball head. So trick, you could probably get a 4-pack for like $10. That's the move if you have other things. lights aren't really in the shot, are they? They might be. Here's another thing. These NanLites, they come with like a light diffuser, like that big softbox that I showed you. They come with like their own little light diffuser that can help control the light. So I'm gonna splash this one on the background. I don't know, I'm just gonna test it out. I typically don't put these on, but I leave this one on just so like if I wanna direct the light. I've just had so many problems directing the light and aiming it that I just haven't used it that much. Let me grab my phone so I can change the colors. So I'm just gonna change the colors to things that YouTubers tend to like. So they tend to like a little bit of this like orange and blue vibe. And I've typically avoided it because it's so common, but I'm just gonna try. Let's say that there's some tried and true reason that people tend to use that. Oh, that is orangey. And you can kind of see them on the fringes here. So I'm also, for the lack of better term, I'm gonna just see how the light is catching. The other thing, I'm trying a new lens. This is a 24mm Sigma. This is my first Sigma lens ever. And it's a 1.4. What's she at now? That's a 1.8. So that's also why I'm trying to stay back with the camera and kind of going wide. Yeah, my experiments last night with this 24mm, I got it out of the box and I was like, yay, new lens. And then I didn't like anything that I saw. But I was like, I'm gonna go to bed. I was getting a lot of like funky, like wavy lines, but I was like filming the dog on the couch and maybe picked up something from the lamp. Let's see if I make this like a more horizontal, if it spreads the light out a little bit better. Here's another thing about cheap ball heads. They're cheap. So yeah, cheap ball head, by the way, doesn't want to hold at the angle that I tried to set. It really wants to be more vertical, which you could probably see in the corner. Again, what I really want to just see is how it's like shading. And both of these lights are surprisingly at 100%. Yes, they're both at, no, they're not. What the hell? Oh, this one's this blue guy over there. This other guy, he was down to 60%. Does that give me more vibes? More ambient color? I don't know. All right, well, this was a fun experiment. Who doesn't like clamps and magnets, man? That's really the point. Clamps and magnets. Convenience and not having you have to use stands. The ideal situation would be is, can I set up like 4 of these Pavo lights with the magnets up and then use that as my lighting and then not have to like whip out the ring light? I don't know. The other thing is that NanLite, the batteries are wildly inconsistent with these things. Like, you figure you would get at least an hour, and you don't get an hour with these things. And I know some people use like constant lighting, but the whole point of them is so you can like put them up on the ceiling. You don't need to like have wires running everywhere. So, but I will say that B&H had a sale, and it was like the B&H anniversary sale ones. And they're ever so slightly different. Here, I'll show like the background. They have like all this like weird, there's like circuitry sort of like imagery. And I think it even says B&H on it. It does. It says B&H right there if it'll autofocus. So there's a B&H logo. So it was like the anniversary one. So there was a sale. That's why I bought a couple of them. These magnets tend to hold the charge better. I don't know if they like upgraded the magnets. I don't know if the batteries got upgraded after the fact, but these are less sketchy from a battery perspective. I find that they always hold their charge much better, and they don't like just. Yeah, and I always charge these after I use them, and I usually end up having to charge them before I use them because they don't hold. I don't love that NanLite. Yeah, again, orange, blue, orange and blue. I don't know. Let's see how it looks on. Let's see how it looks in the editing bay. I'm trying something else, and this is the continuation of my lighting experiment. So I mentioned in the earlier version of the video that I'm like, oh, I wonder what would be cool if I could just use 8 of my Pavo lights, the NanLite PavoTubes, and just use that as my exclusive lighting for a shot. And I tried it. So I have 2 lights in the back, blue. I have blue again. I also lit everything in blue. I have that as well. So and then I have 2 lights lighting me this way. Let's see here. I'll tweak this a little bit. Yeah, I have 2 lights kind of hitting me up this way. And then I have a light directly above me as sort of like a hair light. So yeah, you know, it's hard to tell, and I'm looking at the screen a lot, and I apologize. It's hard to sort of tell if how this is going to look, but I figured I would give it a shot. I also, doing the earlier version of the video this morning, I realized that I kind of like this standing shot. I don't do that a lot. I sit down because it's just easier to get all the lights in the background, not standing. So I kind of like this. I liked being able to stand, plus the bench that I use makes all these like squeaking noises. So yeah, what made this shot possible later in the day was I got some more Amazon. I got like a double a ball joint attachment. So it's like, so one side I connected the magnet, the other side I connected to the light. So that adds a little bit more flexibility. Plus these are much stronger than the cheap ball heads that came with the magnets. And I also got more magnets. So I got a 4-pack of magnets, and then I also got, because I got this double ball joint, the 2-ended ball joint thing, I needed a female to female quarter 20 tripod mount. So this connects to the one ball joint, and then the other side connects to the magnet. So then the other side connects to the light. So yeah, but Amazon also messed up my order. Amazon, I gotta send it back because I got two 2-packs, which is 4 of these double jointed ball heads, and they accidentally sent me a crappy just like single ball head instead. So I only got 2 of them. So I had to kind of get creative with some of the other stuff in the background. So yeah, I'm curious to see what this will do as far as the lighting goes, how this will look. I'm using the same lens that I used earlier, which is the 24mm 1.4, although it seems to be hovering at 2 right now because I have it set to automatic. So I don't think you're going to get the creamiest bokeh. You know, as a whole, it's always good to experiment and try new things when you are doing camera shots. I don't know if I would necessarily use this configuration because I think it does kind of take away from the look that I made. Also, it'll be kind of interesting. Watch this. Hey Google, let's make a video. So if I turn the lamps on, it does add a little bit more depth to the shot, but then it also washes out the blue. Yeah. Oh, and it does anything to the aperture? No, it actually made the aperture go up. So adding more light would do that, wouldn't it? So, you know, as a whole, the point of this video was to say, you know, with a couple of cheap attachments and the idea of using attachments, it could increase your creativity. You can get more shots, you can get more access to using the equipment that you have and putting things in weird places. Like I said, I don't know if this particular shot works. We'll see. But it's good to try new things, and it's good to, you know, shop on these little Amazon sales for these little tchotchkes for ball joints and double female connectors and you know, and magnets. So, you know, when you think you're stuck or you're like, oh man, this would be cool if I can do some other things, just, you know, it doesn't have to be super expensive. And you could use a bunch of the stuff that you have. You just might have to move things around and do things in a different way. And again, setting up all these lights, I don't know if it saved me more time, but it was worth the experiment. And I hope you enjoyed going on this journey with me. And if you have any questions, let me know. Again, I don't know if the PavoTubes or the 6 C's are strong enough to be your primary light. I don't think it could act as a primary key light. But again, I can't really tell through this, so you can make your own decisions, but probably not. But thank you for watching this video, and thank you for letting me experiment, and we'll be back with another video shortly. Take care.